Story number one. Gun awareness is increasing, but who is paying attention? Yes, if you haven't keeping an eye, the story that surfaced in this week is that there's been a lot of shootings going on, so a lot of people are starting to draw more awareness to the gun problem, and they're starting to go to Congress to ask for answers and what Congress can do to handle this problem. A few stories relating to just mass murders and mass shootings, people opening fire on highways, have surfaced into the news. I mean, this is becoming outrageously amazing about how many stories are surfacing about gun violence. Homeowner shoots dead 2 teens who appeared to be trespassing on his property in Ohio. So that just shows you how the gun problem is becoming so much of a problem to the when these stories hit the mainstream of the news, you start to see people all over go into panic mode whenever it hits the media. So when you see activists talking about this, bringing up the fact that the Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms, you'll see a lot of attention centered on these stories, because they'll start to basically home in on the freedoms we have in the Second Amendment. And that's why this story number one surfaced in about gun awareness and how it's increasing, because people are starting to they're starting to throw a lot of scare tactics in there. The NRA becomes a big concern, and a lot of activists get out there, but the thing is that nobody really knows how to stop criminals from obtaining weapons. And when somebody has the motivation to kill somebody or to take somebody out, it's just like anything. They're going to find a way to do it. It could take years, it could take months, but that's why story number one is an interesting story that has potential to continue to develop. We saw it get to the top a few weeks ago because of the fact that people are using guns, and they're using them to kill or to strike fear into the masses. And this is a tactic that is starting to get a little bit old, but it's becoming really common now in America. So you'll see a lot of the Second Amendment brung up, and the right to bear arms, and people are talking about people's sanity and criminal records, background records. But the fact is that if somebody is going to kill somebody or wants to kill somebody, they're going to find a way, and they will find a way to get something to kill somebody with. And it's just becoming too bad. That's why this story number one, gun awareness is increasing, but who is paying attention, has so much potential to be a bigger story. Another story that made it in: man accused of fatally shooting his Uber driver and another passenger. All these stories relate to one thing: shooting. So that compares to another, or relates to another thing, which is guns. And that's why this story is in the top 8. A Nevada student arrested after rifle and 2,000 rounds of ammo found in his car on campus. You're starting to see that people are taking action with guns, and they're using it to awaken the masses and fear that something will happen with our Second Amendment rights. When you see these stories continuously making the news, continuously in the media, you have to draw attention on what is causing the problem. And what's causing the problem is people see other criminals doing it, so they're going to try it themselves. North Carolina student arrested with guns in his dorm room. He was planning a shooting spree, according to police. You see the ripple effect. When one person sees somebody getting mass attention off of gun violence and some type of a gun, that they'll try with somebody else. The Church of Mormons is going to forbid lethal weapons at church in their new policy for change. Chicago police introduce a gun offender dashboard, new online tool to track suspects. So you're starting to see that more attention, and the more they draw attention on this problem, the more people who rightfully use guns and obey the system and obey the law are going to suffer. This happens all the time when somebody else messes something up for the next man in line. Another story that surfaced in Utah: high school senior 17 shot and killed at a house party. So you're starting to see a lot of stories about guns surface into the media, into the news, and they're creating a lot of buzz because people are afraid that when you talk about the Second Amendment and the freedoms that we have as Americans, you can't help but to bring up this story on how guns have affected so many people's lives for the better or for the worse. We're starting to reach that day and age where people are becoming very sensitive to this topic, and people just don't want to hear about when somebody could be jokingly saying they're going to shoot up somebody. Nobody wants to hear that right now because it's becoming such a serious problem. So story number one, gun awareness is increasing, but who is paying attention has a lot of potential to continue to stay in the top 8 because of that one thing. It's in the Constitution, and we have the right to bear arms under the Second Amendment in the Constitution. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian Westward. It's my duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines developing news stories. If you want to be a contributor in any way, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something. Constantly reminding you as I would say the reader or the consumer of news, or the person trying to be informed, that I am just a mediator. All the journalists and people on the front lines getting the news stories deserve all the credit. I just navigate the news just for you. Find the top 8 headlines developing news stories that made it in, so you can stay aware, know what's going on. This week we see a lot of things happen. You may see something happening within the week, not just this week, but within the week of a lot of things happening, and you may try to figure out how to touch bases with your radio audience. You may have a radio program or have your own social media platform, and you may need some talking points, and you may need to know what's happening. So this may be the program for you. Like I said, homing in probably over 50 to 200 stories every week to keep my audience informed. So if you want to be a contributor, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.